your girl, Indescribeabull, a.k.a. Jerrilyn Lake, checking in with my bestie for the restie.
Lynee Monae, and you are listening to She Said It First. You don't like my new intro, right?
You can't just make up a new intro today.
What? I just feel like I always wanted to do that.
That's what you, okay.
Yes.
Did you get out your system?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I'm excited.
Well, oh my God. So because today, since we've already kicked it off the best way possible, we got a special guest in the studio today, y'all.
You guys.
Kiara from Kiki Said So is what they call it. Kiara Walker is joining us on the She Said It First podcast today.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here.
Claps and applauses. Now, girl, I was trying to run through your resume. I said I got tired. I said I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Yes.
Because baby girl is working. But
yes.
we want to know. I know you have the XO Man podcast, and you also have cocktails. Now, for those at home, we're gonna write it on the screen because it ain't spelled how you think.
Right, that part. Yeah. Don't want you to end up somewhere else.
Right. Looking for the wrong thing. But I want you to introduce yourself to our followers, our audience, and let us know who you are exactly and what it is that you do.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I am Kiara Walker, also known as Kiki Said So. I have been working in media for decades now. I started in college at the radio at Howard, and then I worked for different websites, different media outlets, different radio stations, and along the way, I fell in love with podcasting as a listener first. So I started Cocktails almost 10 years ago, and it's Cocktails, Dirty Discussions, and that one is a comedy podcast that I host with a friend from high school. And so we have known each other for so long, and we were able to live some of the experiences that we talked about at first together. And then, you know, as life goes on, we're still telling new things and kind of evolves, but we drink and we get together. Sometimes we get drunk, and sometimes
I love this podcast already.
Yeah, and then sometimes we drink responsibly. I am usually the one, you'll know if I was a little heavy-handed with those pours. We don't have a bartender. It's me or her. So, you know, winging it. Anyway, we tell stories, and not to be confused with like more serious relationship and dating podcasts. We don't know what we're doing at all. And we are just winging it and trying to figure it out. Every now and again, we get in our healing modes and we want to talk to experts and figure out like a healthy way to do it. And then next thing you know, I'm crashing out. And so it's like, scratch that, inviting friends, inviting comedians. Let's just it's like too big of a jump. You need to do steps. And then the other show that I've recently launched is called XO Man Podcast. And that one was not an idea of my own. I got hired to host it and produce it. And that's in conjunction with Will Packer Productions and XONicole.com. And so on that show, it is a totally different vibe. I actually asked them probably for the first 90 days of us working together, are y'all sure about this? Because I have kind of given men a hard time.
Oh my God, you sound like somebody I know.
And I don't feel apologetic in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
I want to say because
I just didn't want to get fired after I got started because I was like, y'all
don't care.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have so much in common already.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's like they feel like it's a hard time. I feel like I'm just calling a spade, asking for a smidge of accountability. But anyway, on the news show, I exclusively talk to Black men. I host it alone. I always have a guest, and I talk to the Black men, and I put the jokes aside. I save that for cocktails. And we still joke lightly, but I really do try to understand where they're coming from and how they feel without them feeling like they're being attacked. Yeah. I don't want them to be telling me the performative things that they do that makes them feel like a man, or what they think men should do. Like, what do you actually think? If you think, like many of them, that certain things are outdated and you don't want to do it, you can say that, but like, tell me why, and don't regurgitate things that you see online. While we are exploring different ideas about like gender, femininity and masculinity, and what that all means to everyone as an individual, is not a gender wars thing. It's not about arguing about it. It's like, okay, for real, let's see where the disconnect is. How did you get to this point? So that anybody listening, whether you're listening because you're dating somebody and you can't connect, your friends, your sons, your father, like whatever that is, I think women and men can get something from it. And I hope so. So right now we are 8 episodes in, and I started working on this last year, and it was a lot different. because there was so much work leading up to it, but I'm glad. And so now it's out every week, new episodes. We've had some really good guests, and I have been surprised by some of the things that the guys said when they weren't being performative. And I was like, look at God, because maybe I needed to hear this. Maybe I needed to hear some more things just for my own life. Because if I rely on the internet, social media and stuff, it's just like lock them up and throw them in a dungeon.
That part, you know? That part. And you know what I'm thinking? Like when she said that, it's like, what are some of, because me and Jerrilyn also talk heavy about men and accountability and like, you know, where we stand. But you said that when they weren't being performative, you were shocked. Like, could you give us like maybe one or two things that you heard that?
Yeah, like a little insight.
Yeah.
Let's see. One of my first guests, something that he said was, his name is DeVal Ellis. He's an actor. He also podcasts. He was talking about some of the things that he has noticed with kids that he mentors, boys that he mentors. And he was like, you know what? A lot of times they're doing this stuff. They're saying crazy things online. They're doing all of this. And I've always felt like it's very much attention-seeking behavior. I'll call them incels and everything else. And he was like, I'm not saying that's not true, but what I am saying is a lot of times they just want to feel seen. The only time somebody sees them, sometimes they're scared of them or they want nothing to do with them. So yeah, they might not be handling it in the right way, but when's the last time somebody did something crazy and you tried to like correct them? Well, I ain't nobody's mama, so I haven't tried to correct them, but it made me think like how much people do stuff because they really don't feel seen.
Yeah.
And they do want attention. And it's like, I can sympathize, empathize, I always get those mixed up with people when it's like, oh, well, she didn't have a dad. Okay, well, is that her fault? Her daddy left her. She didn't
she didn't believe her dad.
Kick him out. To the point that men are the problem. Put a note pen right there.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, I can understand how a woman could be, or like, if she didn't get that guidance, I'm always like, that's not her fault. That's somebody else's fault. Now, as an adult, you do have to figure out how to work through those things. And then I just had to check myself. Why don't I give anybody else, well, not anybody else, men, that same energy? And I should sometimes. So it's a work in progress. But like, that's something. And then also just admitting without an excuse that they were wrong, that they hurt somebody. They knew what they were doing would hurt them, but they underestimated how good everything else was. So many of them, whether they're currently married or have already been divorced because the wife wasn't playing that, have talked about like working so hard, right? And you want to provide. They all have maintained that. They really do want to be able to provide for us. But some of them forgot, like, everybody that you're dealing with in your family unit, whether it's kids or your wife, whatever, they're people. They want something more than the money. What good is the money if you're never there? You could dial back, especially if you've gotten to a point where you're wealthy and you have all of these extras. Y'all don't need 10 cars. Okay? Who even wants to drive anyway?
That part.
You don't need all of that.
Let's be for real.
Right.
And if you're working to keep up with this stuff, dial it back. You don't need all of that. Or maybe check with her and see if there's something she wants to do that you can help her with. Just some of that. And so some of them have learned that lesson. Some of them, I could tell that they still needed to learn it because they still felt like, well, as long as I'm doing this, she should shut up. And I'm like, well, good luck. But it was nice to hear that some of them lived through it and they were like, yeah, I got to find more balance because it's not just that. And there are women who do care about them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that's such a nice, that's my word of the year has been balance.
Yeah.
Because I'm terrible. I literally had this conversation with one of my best friends last night. And I said, friend, do you think I'm too hard on men? And he said, this particular guy, yes. But I think that you want what you want and you're entitled to it. And I wanted to make a video about this, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to use this platform instead because it's going to be significantly less viewership.
But you not.
Because they attack me every time I have an opinion. And I think, to your point, you said, well, somebody does things, maybe if their father went at home. First of all, daddy issues are not the girl's problem. That daddy was the issue.
Right.
And so coming from a place where I come from, I didn't have to settle for that even as a kid. Even as a child, my dad was there. He provided. He was supportive. I got discipline, structure, criticism, judgment sometimes. I got love and care. Like, I got all the things that I felt like I needed to be a real well-rounded individual. And I still need therapy. So let's be clear. Like, I felt like I had the best dad in the world and I still needed therapy. So it's hard for me to go into a relationship at 36 and y'all want to argue about some of the things y'all want to argue about. I ain't never seen my daddy have a back and forth about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard to take in. Yeah.
And so it's like now it's like some men say, well, I ain't your daddy. I didn't ask you to be, but you could try to do a little something.
That would be kind of weird if you were.
That would be
Exactly.
strange.
I'm not asking you to be my daddy, but one main denominator is a common denominator.
We will get compared to their mama
all the time.
Every time we wake. My mother ain't wake up like that. Why you wake up like that? My mother
Even when it's her bland spaghetti, you want me to make it like that? I'm not doing that. That came from a ragu jar.
That part, you know what I'm saying? But we can't compare.
That's true, though.
We can't compare, but they will compare. That reminds me, we just put out, I don't know if you've seen an episode where this guy was critiquing his girlfriend, wife, or something about her cooking, and really compared every single thing she did to like what his mother did, and was like, he wasn't eating it.
He probably was dead serious.
I'm about to say,
a lot of the thing is like, I don't think men realize that what they want is a slave.
Right.
Like, hear me out. I don't think they realize when you ask them what they value in partnership.
Oh, it sounds like slave.
They say, be my peace. That'd be number one. I want you to be my peace. I don't want to argue with you. I want you to cook. I want you to clean. I want you to give me some babies. It sounds like forced labor to me. I don't. And I don't know if they recognize that.
They never say anything about her actual qualities, like what
personality.
her personality, like nothing. Like it's always
because they don't care what her hobbies are.
Yeah,
I want her to have
and a fat ass.
Listen. That fat
Can't
ass
forget that fat ass, but you better wash that ass.
Stomach, which is so hard.
Flat stomach, I love natural hair. We just had a video about it. I love natural hair. I want her to have natural hair, baby. You don't like natural hair.
You don't have natural hair, sir. You've been balding since 22.
You don't have any hair. And so I think that's where my frustration comes with the whole gender wars. It's like, I'm not interested in doing anything for anybody that can't reciprocate. But that'll come
very
so
trivial.
many times. It is.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, this is not even what we need to be arguing about.
Oh my God.
Like, go take the trash out and wash your ass.
Yeah,
it's very simple.
There are so many women who want to do a lot of the traditional things. And something that always sticks out to me is you still want her to work while she has this full-time job as like the homemaker. But then she should also have a full-time job doing God knows what. And you have the one job, but when you get home, you get to relax. Maybe you mow the yard. Maybe somebody comes and does it. Maybe if your kids are old enough, that's their responsibility. And you get to kick back and relax. But if we're both working and we're both doing these things, when do I get a time off, you know? Or even if she doesn't work outside of the home, the fact that that is not, the home stuff isn't looked at as like real work. I don't have children, but I have been a babysitter for my brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
and cousins,
family, like just being around babies is enough.
Yeah, and those were kids that I could return and it wouldn't be frowned upon. And I couldn't wait to get them back home. I was exhausted.
Return it back to sender now.
And it's never even been a full week. So like, ooh,
your schedule is thrown off.
You have 3 hours. You have 3 hours. Because I think within 3 hours, I'm obligated to feed them.
So you don't
I'm
going to feed that child one time.
Oh my
After
God.
they eat and go to the bathroom.
Not even a
very
snack.
different than a dog. You know, I can feed her once and call it a day.
Exactly. If you bring your child, I'm going to feed it one time.
Oh my God.
But after that one meal, like we're not doing a whole lunch and dinner situation.
I think my thing is activities. I think it's the amount of entertainment for me that's like, that's a lot. That's the feeding. I like to eat. I don't mind. Let's do a food review. You know what I'm saying? I'll put you right here in my lap. We're going to do the food review. I don't mind that. It's the excessive amount of energy me having to enter, like, what do we do now? 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 It's like, that stresses me out.
Now, on top of that, I'll bring them in the kitchen with me, too. I even bought one of those Montessori school chef kit things for the little kids, because I didn't need nobody going back with half a finger, right, when I return the kids. So we all gonna get in the kitchen. It's the meltdowns, the anxiety, the other stuff. Well, we all got anxiety. What you want to do, sit in here and scream? I'm hungry
and
now.
the other kids are mad because you won't let them climb into the oven.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, I don't
You
know.
can sit
Rip the
outside.
pot down from the stove. Like,
I want the kitchen up, and you're not allowing it. So
Or
you're
they're
a bad
picky.
person. Yeah.
They want McDonald's. I just slaved over this meal. We eating this or you not eating it. You can cry about it. I don't care. I got noise canceling headphones. Do you?
Okay.
No. Or if you're helping them through something and they're a little bit of an older kid, and then you realize, oh my God, these aren't the kids that Whitney Houston was singing about. These are those other kids. This cannot be the future. You can't read.
These are the ones that left
You can't count well.
Yeah. It's rough. It's rough.
Then I'm like, you're a little too old for this. So I phoned my sister because she got a bunch of kids. And I'm like, well, is this normal? And I'm just like, oh, God, I just don't know what to do. I just feel tired.
Girl, listen.
And that's as a babysitter. So as a mother, what could that be? Sometimes I wish that, you know, men would be a little bit more open for the home stuff. Like, step in and help. These are your kids too.
They don't think that they should.
They don't see the reason.
So many
for
of them call it babysitting. This is your kid.
That's crazy.
What do you mean?
But I made my money. I kept the lights on. Everybody here is eating. That's it. That's as far as my job goes. That's what a lot of them think.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we have to evolve with the times. We are no longer living in a society where men can just get up and go. Not the average man.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a time where the average man could go work one job, bring home enough money,
and everybody was good.
For everybody in the house, and all the woman had to do was focus on cooking and cleaning and having a little sex, making sure the kids wasn't running the streets.
Yeah.
It's not like that no more.
Yeah,
not at all.
It's way different now.
It's not. They are asking for master's degrees for jobs that pay $12 an hour.
Oh, child.
Yeah.
I'm so glad my job don't require that.
I'm glad I don't have a job.
That's exactly.
I'm glad I'm the boss.
Exactly. My entrepreneur doesn't require that, and I'm very thankful that I'm able to just get up and do. You know what I mean? But there are people who are not able to just live out their dreams and do what they want to do, and they do have to get these minimum wage jobs and things like that, but still be taken for granted, or like you don't do enough, or people want to compare salaries. So depending on how much money you make, then it depends on how much rest you're gonna get by the time you get home.
Right.
And we know that minimum wage jobs are way more labor. We know that people who are working at McDonald's, Wendy's, wherever, it's way more work, but people want to say, oh, well, your little job ain't really contributing. So when you get home, you still need to cook. You still need to put the kids in the bath. You still need to do all of the things because I'm making the most amount of money. But she is probably worked out. Like, I can only imagine her being extremely exhausted by the time she gets home.
And if you make so much money, can we hire somebody to come help out around
Hello?
here?
Because I am all about nanny
That's
money.
what I said.
I am all about nanny money.
Or
paying
even a
people.
housekeeper.
All of
I
it.
didn't realize how inexpensive it was compared to the number that I had in my head. And I was just wondering, like, I wonder if my parents ever took the time to look and see how much it cost. Probably not. 'Cause
Probably
it was
not.
way cheaper
We
back
ain't got
then.
time to think about that. We got to work.
That part.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you think about those things as like luxury. You think
Yeah.
only people who are rich or wealthy can afford, or so you don't even look into things you think you can't afford.
But you don't
Right.
even need 24-hour service. You can get somebody
Yeah,
in
just
your
once
house
a
once a
week.
week
A little
for
reset.
$100 and something dollars.
Kids
How
do
much
the
a day?
chores, we can all do it. And sometimes it's like, it does take time, and I wish that more people consider looking into those things that maybe we were taught to think of as luxuries, because peace of mind is not a luxury.
Right.
You know, even
I
though
like
that
that.
is still something that we look at as a luxury. It's not. And like, how do you show up for your kids or your spouse or your career, whatever, as your best self if you stress out all the time?
Yeah.
And then you can't be somebody's peace who doesn't know what would make them feel peace. So I think that the men also have to take time to figure out what it is that they want. They always let us know that they're not mind readers. We know that y'all aren't mind readers because, well,
Y'all can
I won't
barely
go down
read
that rabbit
books.
hole. Well,
Let alone
that. Y'all don't read the instructions on Instacart when I ask for certain groceries.
Girl, don't get me started on Instacart.
Listen,
Girl.
every time I see I got a man,
I get so pissed.
I start texting him
I
immediately.
be wanting to cancel.
Before you think that it ain't there, look on every
Where your
row.
wife at? Hand her the phone. Give her the
Can you
phone.
FaceTime me? Like, let's just do this together.
It'd be so stressful.
It really is. But I say all that to say, you know, everybody's got to figure out what it is that they want so that you can identify it. Now, if the person who you're giving this information to chooses not to do it, then you got a real problem. And now you've got to escalate to step 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Which maybe you need to leave or
Baby,
something else.
my step 1 is leave.
That one
you're
don't
not
give
married,
nobody no
though.
This is
time.
my problem. I'm divorced.
Okay.
And my step 1
was to leave.
when
I'm not mad at
this
it.
was like this is something that I had to evolve through. I had to learn this about myself.
Mm.
I wanted to stay in my marriage because my parents had been married for 40 years. Like, I can't get divorced. We're a Christian. And when I realized I didn't give a fuck when people talk,
Mm-hmm.
I remember thinking, all these people have an opinion about this, and I'm the only one who has to sit in this. I
Yeah.
am unhappy. God will be okay with this.
child.
God
Well, you
doesn't
look
want
good
me-
right now.
Started
The
drinking-
skin is glowing.
Started drinking water and minding my business.
Hello.
And left that man alone.
Yeah.
No, because
Immediately.
No, seriously, you have to go through stages. It's not just I'm gonna wake up and just leave. Like, you battle with whether or not you know. I've been with you for 5 years, 6 years. Like, I don't want to not be with you no more. I
Yeah.
have to start my life over. Then, girl, now I'm in the phase where I'm gonna start over every 20 minutes if I need
Girl, and that right there is where we draw the line.
So
With
why
that one wants to leave every other day.
to. Because I just got to a place where I'm like, do I really want to keep having this conversation for the rest of my life?
So you feel like you say it once and that should be enough?
Not once and it should be enough. But if I've said it 3 times and that's not enough, I'm confused because at this point we're talking to old people. We're all adults here.
Mm-hmm.
I have patience. I don't think anybody here has ever seen me interact with a child.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally different with children than I am with adults. Now, I don't want to have any,
Mm-hmm.
but it's because I know that the amount of time that I can spend coddling and wrangling and corralling is limited.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got 3 hours with whoever kid it is, but for 40, 50, 60, like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
And it's not that I be rushing to leave, but I'm just like,
Over it.
What
Yeah.
are we really doing if this is not something that we both understand at our ages?
Yeah,
you know?
sometimes it makes me wonder, and I've started asking, how many people were in your class growing up? How long was your lunch
It was
period?
less than 10.
And did you get to play games at
Girl,
lunch?
I just seen a clip of this dude.
Not going to lunch at 10 a.m.
Girl, this dude.
10 to 1 p.m. Like, damn, you had a long lunch break.
Did everybody eat lunch in the class together?
Right.
Yeah.
Or did y'all eat with
Hold on,
everybody?
what did y'all have for lunch?
Exactly.
Because
So there was a clip that I just seen. I wish I could find it. If I can, we'll put it in there. If not, I'm just going to tell y'all anyway. So he was basically on a podcast saying how he was put into this classroom and it was just like a little bit of people because these people like had pretty much they were scholars. Like they excelled and, they had like these
At what
additional-
grade?
Girl,
He was
and people-
special.
and, girl, people was in the comments like, who gonna tell him? Who gonna tell him? Because his mama told him that he was in that class with just those little bit of people because he was a scholar. He stood out, so he didn't need to be amongst a larger group of kids. And so he really got on this podcast and was telling everybody, and everybody was like,
And this is an
That's not what
adult.
that was.
that's not what that was.
We did have
Who
gift-
had on the helmet in that
I was
class?
about to say, we had
Who
gifted
had that
classes.
helmet on?
We had gifted classes, but it was never like, there was a clear difference between these kids are not being challenged and these kids can barely sit down and focus. So I don't think it was ever, like, there was clear delineations between those groups. But if you were in a class,
You could tell how he was talking
they-
that this was not a scholar program.
Yeah, I did the gifted and talented. Like that was an elementary thing. They would pull us out, but you go back to your class.
No, he
It
been there
like,
all
dude,
day.
it was- yeah,
I'm from Memphis,
no.
they called it tags. They called it talented and
Oh,
gifted
yeah.
students. And so we had tags. And I was like, okay, well, from 11 to 1, I'm going to go to tags. And then I'm going to go back to
Right.
Yes.
No, that man stayed in there to 4.
That's a shame, and that's why these mamas
From
got to
8 to
stop
10.
lying to their
Thank
children
you, because he
about
think he's
stuff.
special.
At
I mean,
some
and he
point,
is.
he is.
That's it. He think he's special.
And
His
he
mother
is.
said, you special.
And he is.
That's why they put you in that class with the
Lord.
special kids.
So what does he do now?
He just talk
He
on
get on
podcasts
podcasts
and
and
talk
be
about
special.
how special he is.
Well, that's a good something to do
You
all
should have him
day.
on yours. You should interview him.
Maybe.
Who was like the craziest person that you've interviewed? So
Yeah,
far?
who really gave you a run
not
for your
crazy,
money?
Like it was just wild, but like the most interesting or the most engaging, maybe.
Most interesting or most interesting, most engaging. I would say Laterris Whitfield. He
Really?
hosts a
Okay.
podcast,
Dear
Dear
Future
Future
Wifey.
Wifey. He was interesting, engaging, and it's always interesting to me. Anyone who chooses to go down the Christian podcast path, when the mic is on and off, that is always the most interesting to me because a lot of times it's very different, you know? And then who else? Sky Black. He's an actor as well, and he's married to KJ Smith that's on Sisters. He's on All the Queen's Men. He was crying, and I was not expecting that.
I would have been so confused.
Everything about him in the interview, I enjoyed, but everything threw me for a loop because he was not at all what I thought he might be. And I hadn't seen any interviews, and when I was doing my research, the only interviews I saw were just like write-ups. And I didn't really know much about his personality. I'm looking at his glamorous photo shoots and wedding pictures when he had that train and
with the heels.
And we talked about it because I was wondering.
Lynee,
and he said he
please.
saw what y'all was saying and he don't care. And he talked about the brooch, everything. And so it was interesting to hear that there were backstories to a lot of those things. And then it was also interesting to see him in person because Instagram is very polished and pretty. And then in real life, he looks a lot more normal. He looks very made up. Like he's always on a set. And in real life, he looked normal. Still an attractive guy, but way less pretty.
Imagine having to deal with your childhood trauma in the spotlight. So I'm glad that, a lot of people are able to Listen, we grew up with we're different millennials.
That's tearing you the hell up. That's tearing you right on down.
Millennials are a very interesting generation because we had to play outside, but we also got AOL and IM, messengers and things like that. So we are really seeing a small portion of society or timetable like be cram packed with all these technological advancements, and stuff is happening way faster than we can process. And so, like, these kids today are doing the same thing that guy was doing, are doing the same thing that we're all trying to do, which is figure life out.
Yeah.
But
at
the
this
main
big
stage,
age,
in front of the world.
At this big age, on camera is not it. And the energy
in
you put
general,
out, energy.
people in general, I think we are at an age where you have to prioritize mental health and emotional stability.
Yes, especially for men. And not saying, because I feel like, you know what, I hate to even do this as a gender thing overall, but I do see where women are kind of taking the lead as far as mental health, really seeking help, really having those conversations. And one thing about women is that we therapy each other. Now, granted, none of us are licensed, but we do have
Doesn't matter.
Like, we still gonna call you up like, girl, you ain't gonna believe, you know what I mean? So we do have an opportunity to talk about our problems, how we feeling, literally on the plane with Jerrilyn. I can't wait to get there. I have so much to tell you.
I just told her, I said, I can't wait to tell you all the things I've been holding in. Because it's like I can't share everything with boyfriend or mom or homeboy. Like, they don't get it. Like, there's a different type of sisterhood and connection that women have fostered between each other intentionally.
Yeah.
Because we need those spaces. We know that this world is not a safe space for us. So we've made that space with each other. And I'm waiting for men to do the same.
That's what I'm waiting for too.
And I asked them about that on XO Man, and I find that a lot of them, it seems like the friend in the group who is like the most understanding, maybe looked at as like the leader of the group in a sense. That person is open. But when I'm talking to other people who maybe don't take that role within their friend group, they still feel a little bit timid, or they feel like they know that their friends are going through stuff too, or they just accept that this is how life is. And it's like, it doesn't have to be this way. And you should be able to speak to somebody without feeling like you're less than a man, without feeling weak. I can only imagine, if I was being totally honest with myself, if I had the same pressure that I would put on men, that I do put on men, to like figure out your life, get a career, make some money, do these things, stop always asking everybody else for help, I would go crazier than I already am. You know, it is a lot of pressure, and we don't give them as much room. We can talk about wanting to get married one day and have children, and it's kind of like, well, of course I would stay home with the kids. It makes more sense if I want to have 3 or 4 kids to stay home with them instead of paying $10,000 a month in childcare. But when men do those things, I do give them a side eye sometimes. I'm trying not to, but I'm a work in progress, you know? But it's like they don't have the same room to say, this isn't what I want.
Because everything that they do is criticized.
Yes.
Like, they can't even eat hot dogs. They can't eat hot dogs. They can't eat popsicles. They can't. They're like, oh, you eat a hot dog. Oh.
If they're in Atlanta, they can't smoke the hookah.
Girl, they can't eat a salad. Oh, look at them eating healthy. He ain't getting no wings and burgers. Like,
they can't go to yoga. Can't go to. I mean, it's a lot of rules. It's real strict.
It's real strict.
They can't show up for their kids.
Yeah.
They can't matching clothes with their baby
Right,
mama.
you can't have matching clothes, matching pajamas. You can't take pictures. You can't every little thing.
Now. Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't have matching pajamas?
Are y'all together?
Oh, okay. She's talking about just randomly. Because I'm like, wait, they can't have matching pajamas?
Why are y'all even taking pictures together if y'all not? What the hell is going on? That's another thing. Though. Y'all talking about when they're together, that's fine.
That's the thing too, though. I think once, and I don't want it to, I'm not saying this as a blanket statement that men are to blame. I joke a lot and I say, oh, men are the problem.
Yeah.
And you
same.
are. But I really do want I want so many men to show up in a leadership way, but in an empathetic way, in an understanding way. Leadership does not mean control and mandating things. Leadership means listening, making quality decisions that are in the best interest of all parties.
Heavy on the quality.
But sometimes it's just my way or the highway because I pay the bills, and that's not leadership. That's a dictatorship.
Exactly.
And we're seeing that with the orange man in the White House.
And
So
some men think that they should do that. And it's like, also, let's be real with each other. Whoever you're in a relationship with, what are you actually good at?
Right.
The both of you.
Right.
And let's figure out how we're going to divvy up these responsibilities instead of trying to base it off of society standards, your mama's standards, the internet standards, whatever. What are you actually good at? What do you enjoy doing? And how can we break this up? And I think that more people have to take an individual approach. I don't know why everybody thinks everybody should do the same thing. Right. Take an individual approach because it's you and this other person in this relationship. Y'all figure it out. It's not for everyone else. But if you don't know what you like, you don't know what you want to do, you don't even know what you're good at, you don't know what makes you happy, you probably should have slowed down before you rushed into a relationship to kind of figure yourself out, because it's hard to show up for somebody who doesn't even know what would be good for them. They just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Why I gotta be riding around on this confusion train?
Girl,
I want to get off.
Let me at the bus.
Please.
That's how I be feeling.
Please let me
figure it
Next
out.
stop, please.
Figure
Right.
it out. And then if I'm free, I'm available, and I'm interested, come back and
Yeah.
we'll see if it works. Now,
And if I'm free and if I'm available, I'm not interested. So just keep going.
Yeah. There's somebody else out there. Maybe.
I spun the block one time, and it was one of the worst decisions I ever made in my
Thank
life.
you.
And I never do it again.
Precisely. And that's why you just, because I was only here for a reason, not a season.
Girl.
That's it. I'm good on that. You find somebody else to dump that on and be a good person to them. Because
I'm
I'm
just
there.
trying, but it just. I'm one of those people, like, I stay until I can't stay no more. And
I do
then
that.
once I'm like,
Done.
okay. This is the end of this.
Yeah, that's how I am.
And then you can't get me on the phone. You can't. So it's like, wow, you just disappeared on me. Hey, the next time you contact me, I'm calling the police.
Exactly.
And I was just broken up with
Exactly.
you Monday. And I know it's a little confusing, but you're going to jail. So go ahead and put your hands behind your back.
I am
Yeah.
so sorry. Your subscription to Kiara has
Exactly.
been suspended.
Hello?
Exactly.
Okay.
That right there.
All right, so y'all help me out. I'm in a bind.
Nate.
Some of my some of my homegirls just told me last week she almost broke up with her man because he was pocket watching her, and she doesn't like that. But he just texted me, please prevent her from buying the purse she wants. I'm surprising her with it for her birthday. So now I got to be the one to pocket watch her for a month to prevent her from buying it. How do I discourage her from buying the purse without saying maybe you should save or something like that?
You too much going on. You need to tell me. Just say I'm finna buy it.
Just get
I
it.
think at this point,
Yeah.
you're doing too much to
Yeah.
stop it from happening.
That's what I'm
Just,
saying,
if you
just
gonna
get it.
just I hate offending nigga.
You know what I'm saying?
I was feeling
Oh my God.
I was finna take
I was
care.
going to get it, but you did
I
it
was-
before me.
I was
Just get
finna-
the purse.
No.
And if he hasn't bought the purse yet and she buys it, friend, tell him she done bought it already, so now you need to pick another
Get
gift.
something
Or give her
else.
some money.
Hello?
Yeah.
I always
Like-
love money.
I
Or just tell her. Yeah,
Yeah.
just tell her. If it's for her birthday or special occasion, hey, I got this. I was just so excited to get it for you, and I was scared you was going to get it yourself, so I
So
had
I
to
just
hurry up
got
and
it
get it
for
to
you.
you, and I'm giving it to you early.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes.
Who doesn't want an early birthday gift?
Ooh,
You
right.
will not
I
lose
love gifts
with
all
that.
year round. Forget the
Especially,
birthday.
yeah, and especially when she realizes, oh, you weren't really pocket watching to like count my money. You just wanted to make sure that I didn't spend it on that. And
Easy.
problem solved.
Easy. Making it complicated is
That's
wild.
a way to do stuff.
It is. And they just make things super complicated.
Because you know, dudes. He probably was like, what you doing on the internet?
Right. What you about to get. And that feels
You shopping
weird.
That's something in
again?
your cart.
Because
Yeah.
now you micromanaging my money.
I call it passive aggressive, and I promise you, it sends me into a tailspin
Yeah.
every time. I cannot stand.
I break out in
passive-aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Tell me what you're trying to tell me before I flip this table over.
Especially if you're trying to buy me something, because yes, I will go and buy it.
Yeah. Because I can do that.
When is your birthday?
September 13th.
Okay, I was like, you was a little too close to tourist activity for me.
Well, you know, I get it. Mhm.
Is that
Trying to
Virgo?
be romantic.
But I'm
You can be
done.
romantic
You
early.
can be romantic and also
I don't want
honest.
nobody watching my money that close. That's going to stress me out. Like,
And
that
a
will
purse
piss
ain't
me off.
romantic. It's a nice gift.
It is.
It's a-
And if you're
yeah.
going to get it, just get it. And now you got me watching her. I'm not
I'm
watching
not on the clock.
Now she
nobody's
about to cuss me
pocket.
out.
I
Thank
don't
you.
work. I
I
don't work
gotta
for
watch
either
my
one.
own pockets and figure out where the hell all this money is
Exactly.
going.
Where is it going? And I look at it and I'm
Right.
just out eating.
It's
I'm
just
Uber
disappearing.
eating. Out to eat.
What are these charges? Who ate this much?
I ate
tried
my
to
money out.
dispute them, but girl, I was on the security camera. They had me right there in the third booth on my third margarita.
All right, girl.
Yeah.
The drink.
Look, going on the third hour.
But yeah.
I think so. I think it's so funny that we have these kinds of conversations because I literally said the other day, some men really don't mean no harm, but there's a way to do and say everything. And I think once people become a little more intentional about how they are talking to people, how they're treating people, how they're showing up, like we won't have a lot of arguments because the expectations will be clear. We'll both know what's expected, what we need, and what we can provide. And so I think I'm gonna have to tune in to. Well, I'm gonna watch EXO.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that
EXO
cocktail,
Man,
one where you get some little libations.
I'm gonna have
okay,
to
kick off
swing
your
back
shoes
through
and
there.
relax your feet. I'm gonna be up in there looking, see what's going on.
We'll have to
And
swing through.
I'll have to get y'all to come on cocktails too, because
Yes,
cocktails
of
everybody
course.
can come on, but EXO Man is just men. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Look, now, side note, she's here till Friday.
I know. That's why I'm like, oh yeah,
So-
because when I leave here, we'll be scheduling. Because
Okay.
we're gonna have to record this week.
Okay.
Listen.
So,
Yes, girl.
It's
We in
good.
there. We in there.
Well, thank you so much for hanging out
Thank
with
you
us.
so
We-
much.
having me.
You're such
we
a
didn't-
vibe. I
we
love
didn't do
it.
none of the stuff we were supposed
I
to do.
know. We didn't stay on track.
and
We
we
didn't.
never
no,
do,
but you know
but-
what?
But I hope y'all enjoy the conversation.
Yes, that's right. I hope you guys enjoy the conversation.
Right.
Yes.
Before we leave, me and Jerrilyn are heavy on going to go talk to the lady.
Yes.
This is a question that I do want to ask you, which is how are you today, honestly? Because a lot of us just be like, we're good, we're
Yeah.
fine, everything. We just want to do a quick check-in and then we'll close out.
Okay, today I'm okay. Just okay. Friday was a horrible day. And I am so glad that I had this because I was like, you know what? I'm just going to rest this weekend. I'm going to play The Sims. I'm going to eat some chicken wings and some cake.
I know that's
and
right.
then by the time Tuesday rolls around and I have to do this interviews, hopefully my mood will be better and it's something to look forward to. This is something that I want to do and like think about what is happening right and stop focusing on everything that is going crazy. And then I also talked to my sister, and she's not the lady, but she serves as my lady a lot of times. And she was like, you know what? Set that damn camera up, Kiara, and record it, and we're going to turn this into something funny. And that's what we did. And she's texted me like 5 times. I got to finish the voiceover so that I can post it. But yeah, I'm doing all right. And I try to tell people, too, like, it's okay to just be okay.
Yes.
But don't stay in that okay. Figure out what's wrong, and then figure out a plan to fix it. And I've done that. One of those things that I do that I have to cut back on is eating. And I forgot some other things that I do, but I also wrote a cookbook. And it's called Classy Base. It's KLASSYBASTE. So classybase.com. I have digital cookbooks, digital recipes, and a physical one. And then also with cocktails, we came out with a conversation card game called I'm Curious to Know. And that one is available at I'mCuriousToKnow.com. I'll be working all day, every day, and a lot of times I forget about things. So y'all definitely check out the shows, but check out those other things too, and hopefully in the coming months I'll have some more things to put out there.
Love it.
Well, tell us where they can find you on social media.
On social media, I am Kiki Said So, KIKISAIDSO.
And she said
On
it.
everything.
She said so.
Oh, she said it first. You hear me? Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming. We have enjoyed you.
Thank you.
And y'all know this unfortunately it's although we've come to the end of the road. Dang.
We'll be here Thursday, though. Okay, we won't be on the road too long. Okay, we will be back on Thursday where you can watch us on YouTube if you want the visuals. If not, you can watch us or listen to us wherever you listen to your podcast. Just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know every time we upload. Peace.
Bye.